In 11.2, we're going to take a look at percents. So, you've probably seen this before. We're going to set up a proportion, which is why it's in this chapter, and we're going to use this is over of equals percent over 100 thing. That's going to work for everybody. There are other ways to go about each of these problems, but based on what you're given in the problem, there's a whole different way to set up the problem. So I'm not going to show all that. This one way, this will work for all problems. Okay, so we're just going to stick with one method. Okay, so 35%, that's my percent, so that goes in the percent spot. That always goes over 100. Whatever number goes with the word is, which I don't have, but I do have the word of in here. So 80 is going to go in the of position, and whatever I'm missing, that's where I just put my x. So now, I don't really want to multiply 35 times 80. That's really big. So if you can reduce one side of your fraction, do that first. You just can't reduce across the equal sign. But 35 and 100, that'll divide by 5. So I'm going to make this 7 over 10 equals x over 80. And that's a lot easier to deal with. So I can cross multiply, or I can cheat this. I can cheat this because I can say, oh, well look, they just did 10 times 8 to give me, oh, how about, whoopsie, 100 divided by 5 is definitely not 10. This is 7 over 20. Sorry about that. Okay, but I can still cheat it because 20 goes into 80 4 times, so if I do the same on the top, 7 times 4 is 28. So x equals 28. And because I reduced, it made it a lot easier for myself. Now what happens if you can't reduce? So let's take a look at the next one. 48 is, okay, so that goes in my is position. 40%, so 40 is my percent, always goes over 100, of what? So I don't have my of, so I put an x there. Now I can reduce 40 over 100. I can chop a 0 off, and now I could reduce this more, but 4 already goes into 48. It goes in 12 times. So if I do the same on the bottom, 10 times 12, that's easier to multiply. X must equal 120. So pretty nice. We're getting all good ones that we can cheat. Alright, I'll do the last one. We can cheat on the last one, but I'll show you how to do it with cross multiplying. So 15 is what percent? That means I don't have my percent, so I'm going to put the x over the 100 of 60, so 60 goes here. Now I can reduce 15 over 60, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. That actually goes in nicely, 1/4. Now I'm not going to do my cheat method here. I will cross multiply. So now I'm going to do 4 times x equals 1 times 100, which is 100. Now I divide, and I get x equals 25. Which, yes, I could have gotten because 4 times 25 is 100, so 1 times 25 is 25, which I got anyway is the answer. So whether you can figure out a shortcut, what they did from one side of the proportion to the other, and then just repeat it on the other part of your fraction, or you can cross multiply and solve. But this percent over 100 equals is over of is how you're going to set up all your problems. If you reduce one side of your fraction, you can usually make it a lot easier for yourself. If you can't reduce, just go ahead and cross multiply and solve the problem. That's percent problems.